You are embarrassing yourself and your family. You embarrassing yourself. You are embarrassing yourself.
That was T.I. with his own son in a headlock on camera at an NFL game, broadcast live to the entire world. But that was not even half of it. The beef he ignited with 50 Cent turned so ugly, so personal, that what Tip did next left the whole culture stunned. The smoke that shook everything. Listen, the rap game is on fire right now, and nobody saw this blaze coming. What started as a simple Versus call-out between two certified legends quickly spiraled into one of the most vicious, disrespectful feuds hip-hop has witnessed in years. Mothers were dragged, wives were posted, sons were pulled into the chaos, and entire legacies were scorched in group chats. Then, just when everyone believed these two were ready to take this war to the grave, T.I. did the one thing nobody on Earth expected. He reached out. He apologized. But no, we are not getting to that part yet, because the road to that apology is packed with diss tracks, deleted posts, family warfare, and a level of disrespect that would make even the most battle-tested veterans in this rap game cringe. And if you think the 50 Cent situation is where the story ends, stay locked in, because there is a whole other chapter involving T.I. and his own son, King Harris, that turned physical on camera in a way the internet still cannot stop replaying. The roots of this tension go all the way back to the early 2000s, when both Tip and Fif were dominating the rap game from opposite sides of the map. T.I. came out of Atlanta representing Bankhead, while 50 Cent came out of Queens representing South Jamaica. Both of them carried street credentials that were not manufactured in any studio. For years, it appeared to be mutual respect on the surface. They crossed paths at award shows, festivals, and industry events, with no real static between them. But beneath all of that, the tension was simmering like a pot with the lid clamped on too tight. That is what happens when two alphas share the same jungle, each one convinced he is the true king. Neither of these men was built to stand in the background. In an industry where your position gets measured every single day by sales, features, and cultural influence, the debate over who ranked above, who was always hanging in the air like a storm cloud ready to burst. Fast forward to the Versus era, when the culture was hungry for legendary matchups. T.I. claimed that during a television promo run in Los Angeles, he and 50 Cent agreed on a private understanding. According to Tip, the plan was straightforward. He would issue the public challenge, 50 would step up and accept, and the fans would finally get the showdown they had been waiting for. Two catalogs packed with nothing but anthems, ready to go hit for hit on a stage built for that exact kind of warfare. But when the time came for 50 to stand on his word, at least according to T.I., the line went dead. No acceptance, no acknowledgement, just silence. In this game, when a man you expected to stand 10 toes beside you disappears, that is not just disappointment. That is a breach of the code. By February 6th and 7th of 2026, T.I. was finished keeping it bottled up. He showed up on the Nightcap podcast with Shannon Sharpe, and what he said was not a subtle jab. It was a direct call-out, delivered with the kind of intensity that made it clear he had been holding on to this frustration for a long time. When you hear it in his own voice, you can feel exactly where his mindset was.
Nah, I said I wanted 50. That's what I said. He don't want no smoke, though. Oh, no! I called my man out. He don't want no smoke. He ducking smoke. It's cool.
That clip flooded every timeline within hours. Tip was not moving in silence. He was on a nationally watched podcast telling the world that Curtis Jackson was dodging the fade. If you know anything about 50 Cent, you know that kind of public disrespect does not get left on read. It gets a response. He fired back almost instantly on Instagram, posting clips from T.I. old court appearances and sharing a PSA-style meme basically saying forget Versus, let us do the stay away challenge and keep our distance. He added a laugh at the end because that is 50 whole strategy, turn your opponent into a punchline before the first bar even drops. But T.I. was not entertained, not even slightly. By February 11th, 50 raised the temperature all the way up by calling him King Rat on Instagram, dragging up the snitching accusations that have followed Tip since his 2007 federal firearms plea deal and hip-hop. Catching that label is worse than being called washed. That stain does not come off, no matter how many platinum plaques hang on the wall. T.I. fired back with a statement that left no room for interpretation, saying only one of them was truly a rat and that he had paperwork to back it up, telling 50 Cent to put on the gloves or stay quiet and live scared. The social media exchanges were entertaining, but everyone understood the real ammunition would land on wax, and tip delivered. On February 22nd, he appeared on $1 Million Worth of Game and detailed the entire betrayal, explaining how they had the conversation, how they agreed to the battle, and how once he stepped into the public arena, 50 acted like the discussion never took place. In Tip perspective, that was not just cowardice, it was a flaw in character. Then, the very next day, February 23rd, T.I. released the first diss track, a snippet titled War, making his intentions impossible to ignore. But he was not finished. That same day, he dropped the full record, The Right One, and it went into territory most diss tracks would never dare approach. The bars landed like a battering ram. T.I. was not just questioning 50 Cent toughness, he was dismantling the entire persona that turned Curtis Jackson into a household name. The song pushed even further, portraying 50 as nothing more than a meme page operator and an online troll hiding behind a phone screen. In its most controversial moment, T.I. referenced 50 Cent's late mother, stepping over a line that even the most hardened veterans of rap beef consider off-limits. The internet immediately split down the middle. Half the timeline applauded Tip for going bar for bar with one of rap's most calculated verbal assassins, while the other half criticized him for bringing a deceased parent into the line of fire. But if T.I. bars were the earthquake, what 50 Cent did next was the aftershock that pushed everything into overdrive. 50 uploaded an unflattering photo of T.I. wife, Tamika "Tiny" Harris, on Instagram, adding a caption that warned them to keep his name out of their mouths. One post was all it took to pull an innocent woman into the battlefield, breaking the unwritten rule that spouses and families are off-limits. The tension shifted from competitive rivalry to something deeply personal. That was the moment King Harris, the son of T.I. and Tiny, stepped into the conflict with an intensity nobody anticipated.
How y'all was raised? I'm not raised like that.
King Harris was not holding anything back. He went live on Instagram, his voice shaking with raw emotion, making it absolutely clear that coming at his mother was a line that could not be crossed without consequences. Then, he took the situation to a place nobody expected.
So tell your mama dig her up and post a picture that look better than my mom.
That response exploded across the internet. A young man telling a billionaire entertainment mogul to dig up his deceased mother for a side-by-side comparison. It was ruthless. It was raw. The kind of moment that makes you understand this feud had moved beyond the rap arena and into a space where real pain exists. And King Harris did not ease up. He returned with even more force, doubling down with an intensity that showed this was not about attention. This was a son standing up for the woman who gave him life.
I want to say something about my mama. Your mama. Go dig her up.
You could feel the pain seeping through the anger. This was not a rapper crafting a punchline. This was a son standing up for the woman who raised him, no matter the cost.
Post a picture of your mama. She pay respect. Stop playing with my mama.
50 Cent responded in the only way he knows how, with memes. He posted an image comparing King Harris to Peppa the Frog and called the entire family ugly, turning a deeply emotional moment into internet comedy. Even Tina Knowles publicly stepped in to defend Tamika "Tiny" Harris, widening the circle of people invested in this beef and adding a level of cultural weight far beyond rap. The internet was holding its breath, wondering if this conflict was about to jump from keyboards into real life, the tension thick enough to choke on. Then came the retreat and the twist. By February 24th, 50 shifted arenas entirely, flexing while his opponent was still throwing punches at air. He went on social media to announce he had just sold out a Broadway production of Joe Turner's Come and Gone. He posted it with a shocked face emoji, basically saying, "While you in the booth recording disses nobody asked for, I'm moving units on stages you cannot even get a ticket to." That is the ultimate disrespect, the kind of flex that does not need a single bar because it rewrites the entire narrative. Think about what that does to a man's mindset. T.I. had poured every ounce of lyrical venom into 2 diss tracks, one of which crossed the sacred line by targeting a deceased mother. And 50 Cent response was not a counter-record. It was a Broadway announcement. That type of move changes the entire battlefield because suddenly it is no longer about who has better bars. It is about who carries more relevance in 2026. And that is a question T.I. may not want the world answering aloud. King Harris jumped in on his father's behalf, putting the internet on notice about 50 Cent's long history of feuds with Lil' Kim, outselling Kanye and others, portraying him as a career antagonist who sparks conflict for entertainment, not principle, a man who uses his platform as a weapon against whoever catches his attention that week. Then came February 25th, 2026, the day the whole narrative flipped. No warning, no explanation, no caption. 50 Cent deleted every T.I.-related post from his Instagram. Every meme, every troll, every clapback, gone, scrubbed clean as if the beef never happened. The internet went full CSI, wondering if 50 was waving the white flag, reloading for something bigger, letting lawyers step in, or handling something behind closed doors the public could not see. Because, let's be real, 50 Cent does not back down. This is the same man who went to war with Ja Rule, Rick Ross, Floyd Mayweather, and grinned through every round. His entire brand is built on relentless escalation, not quiet withdrawal. So for him to erase all the receipts on a beef he was fully invested in just hours earlier, that alone was one of the most shocking moves in modern rap warfare. Here is where the story takes the turn that brought you to this video. Sources close to both camps say T.I. made a move nobody saw coming. After days of trading the most savage verbal attacks imaginable, including diss tracks aimed at mothers, wives, and children, and memes that turned grown men into punchlines, Tip reportedly contacted 50 Cent directly. Not through Instagram, not through press intermediaries, but straight on the line. The conversation happened straight, phone to phone. And the tone, according to those close to the situation, was a completely different energy from the man who had been barking about war and smoke nonstop for weeks. The word that keeps coming up in every account of that exchange is apology. But hold on, this was not a groveling, submissive apology that would bury a man's reputation in these streets. It was a calculated, grown man acknowledgement that things had gone too far, that lines had been crossed on both sides, and that dragging mothers, living or dead, into a dispute between two men with decades of legacy was beneath everything they had built. T.I. had already made his stance on respect clear throughout the beef, telling the world straight up he no longer respected 50 Cent and had no interest in sharing a stage with him. But there is a difference between losing respect for someone's actions and wanting a war that consumes everything in its path.